locus for the system given as g of s into h of s is k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2. This is the question. What is the first step in this we need to do? What is the first step? Is to locate the number of zeros and poles, right? We need to locate the number of zeros and poles here. That is location of poles and zeros. Right. First, poles here. What are the how many poles are? First, we shall go with the zeros. How many zeros are there in this? Just check out how many zeros are there in this. How many zeros are there in this?
0, sir.
No, we don't have any zeros in this, right? So that means there is no root present in the numerator. So we can say there are no zeros in this, right? So I can write zeros are 0 here. Zeros are 0 here. Poles. How many poles are there in this?
3.
3. We have s cube, right? S and s square we have. So there are 3 poles. Which are those poles? First, we need to find out the roots of that one. First will be s is equals to 0. And then one more is s square plus 2s plus 2. S square plus 2s plus 2, which is equals to 0. We need to find out the roots of this one. Can you find out the roots of this one? Can you find the roots of this one and tell me the roots here? I can write this one as
Sir, -1 plus I, -1 minus I, sir.
Here we got s is equals to -1 plus I and -1 minus I. Right. Now how to find out the roots of this quadratic equation? Right. I know no need to teach this thing. So we got 3 poles, that is s is equals to 0, 1 and s is equals to -1 plus j. Here it will be j, imaginary axis it will be j omega. So I'll write in terms of j here and then -1 minus j. There are 3 roots here now, 3 poles. These are the 3 poles what we have. So we shall locate that in the s plane. First, s is equals to 0. Here s is equals to 0. Here what I have taken, the scale I have taken as x axis 1 unit is equals to 2 centimeter and y axis 1 unit is equal to 2 centimeter here, right? So this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3 here. Similarly 1 and 2, 3, etc. there. So here what we have, s is equals to 0 we have marked. The next one is s is equals to -1 plus j. This will be negative. So we have -1 plus j is this one. -1 plus j. S is equals to -1 plus j. And then we have one more is s is equals to -1 minus j. Here will be s is equals to -1 minus j. These are the 3 poles what we have. S is equals to 0, s is equals to -1 plus j and s is equals to -1 minus j. I'll write it here. S is equals to -1 plus j here. Right. These are the 3 poles what we have. What is the next step? Step 2 is to determine number of branches and its direction. To determine number of branches and its direction. Right. To find out number of branches, what we need to do? What will be the number of branches? N. We have that step number 2. N is equals to P or Z. Sorry. P or Z, whichever is greater here. Right. See here, number of poles P is 3 and Z is 0. So P is greater than Z here. So I can take N is equals to P, which is equals to 3. That means there are number of branches will be 3, whichever is greater. We have 3 poles which is greater, so N is equals to 3 here. Now, and we need to find out the direction, how it is moving here. So starting point of the poles, the starting point of the branches will be starting point will be the
minus 1
roots
minus j,
of
sir.
poles. No, roots of poles. That is, starting point will be 0 and minus 1 plus j, and then minus 1 minus j. These are the three starting points of the roots here. Those are the poles. And terminating points will be the zeros here. Zeros we don't have, so I can write directly as infinities. Infinities are the terminating points. Three terminating points, that is infinities, and three starting point, that is 0, minus 1, plus j, and minus 1 minus j here. Right. Now after that, what is the step 3? Step 3 is to find out number of asymptote and asymptote angle. Right. Step 3 is to find out the number of asymptote
Sir, once can you show the graph, sir?
just a minute. And asymptote. Yeah. What I have taken is 1 unit is equal to 2 centimeter I have taken. In your graph sheet, it will be very small, so that you can take 1 unit is equal to 3 centimeter. That will be feasible for you to write in the graphs. Just I have marked the poles here. 0, minus 1, plus j, minus 1, minus j. Right, can I move further?
Yes, sir.
Now step 3 is to find out number of asymptote and asymptote angle. First, number of asymptote. What is the formula to find out number of asymptotes?
P
That
minus
is
z,
small
sir.
letter q, that is p minus z. Right, here p is number of poles is 3 minus 0, which is 3 here. Right, so when q is equals to number of poles, q is equals to 3, so I can write this one as 0, 1, 2. There are 3 q here. Right, those are the asymptote. Number of asymptotes will be 3. So asymptote angle, to find out asymptote angle, theta is given by 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z. And this is the formula what we have. So I can write this one as 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z is 3 here. So now substitute the value of, in previous I have written I think 5, right? Instead of theta I have written 5, I think. Yeah, just will check out.
Yes, sir. We have used 5, sir.
Yeah, fine. I'll use 5 itself, so no need to confuse in that. This is 5 only. Right. Now 5 is given as, this is 5 1. 5 1 will be what? When you substitute q is equals to 0,
60, sir.
2, that is 180 divided by 3 is 60. And next, similarly, 5 2 is 1 into 2 plus 1, 3 into 180 divided by 3 will be 180.
180, sir.
And then 5 3 will be 2
300.
into 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 5 into 180 divided by 3 is 300. 300 degree here. Right. Now what we need to do? We need to plot this asymptote in the graph. Right. We need to plot the asymptote angle in the graph. But to plot asymptote angle in the graph, what we need? What we need to plot asymptote in the graph?
Centroid, sir.
Centroid, right? We need to find out the centroid. That will be our step 4. That is, step 4 is to find out the centroid. Is to find out the centroid zeta here. So what is the formula we have? The real parts of pole, summation of real parts of pole minus summation of real parts of 0 divided by number of poles minus number of zeros here. Summation of real parts of pole. Now, real parts of pole, what are the poles we have? P was the s is equals to 0, and we had minus 1 plus j and minus 1 minus j. These were the 3 roots of poles, right? 0, minus 1 plus j, minus 1 minus j. This centroid, we need to find out the real parts of pole here. So real parts of pole will be, in the first term is 0. Here, what is the real parts of pole in this? Minus 1 plus j. This will be our real part. This will be our real part and this will be our imaginary part. So here also it will be 1. So I can take only the real parts, that means minus 1 in this. Similarly, here we have the real part is minus 1. Here I have minus j here. Right? Minus j will be the imaginary part. So I can take only minus 1 here. So real parts will be 0, minus 1, minus 1. These are the real parts of pole, right? Minus summation of real parts of 0. We don't have any zeros. Take it as 0 divided by 3 minus 0. And you got what we need to take when you have the complex conjugate. You need to take only the real parts of pole or real parts of 0 here. Right? You need to take only the, here you might be having 2 also. Here you might be having 2, 3, whatever might be the number. You should not consider this imaginary part. You should consider only the real parts of pole here. So what will be the answer? It is minus 2 divided by 3 is what? Minus 0.66. So zeta will be minus 0.66 here. Right? We got this one. So we shall mark the centroid here. We shall mark the centroid here. Centroid is 0.66. It will be here. So I'll mark in just a line here. This will be our centroid. S is equals to minus 0.0.
So sigma, no, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it is sigma. It is minus 0.66. This will be the point. Sigma is equals to minus 0.66 here. Right. Now, what is the next step? We need to draw the asymptote angle here. Asymptote angle, we got one is 60, 180 and 300 degree. So I'll directly write that one. 60 will be like this. Sorry. I'll get somewhere here like this. 60 degree is this one. 180 is this angle. Right. And this is 300 degree. This is 300 degree. So I'll write this one as phi 3 is equals to 300 degree, and this one phi 2 is equals to 180 degree, and then this is phi 1 is equals to 60 degree. Right. We got the asymptote and asymptote angle. What is the next step? What is the next step? We got to know the one root will be starting from here and it will terminate to infinity, either in this direction or this direction. And here the root will start. It will terminate in this direction only. We know the root will terminate in the asymptote angle direction only, but we don't know how it is being departed here. How it is been starting angle, we don't know that one. So we need to find out the angle of departure here, right? Before finding out the angle of departure, we need to find out the segment of real axis which belongs to the root locus here. First, we need to find out the segment of real axis which belongs to root locus. That is step 5. Step 5 is to find out the segment of real axis which belongs to root locus. Right. How to find out the segment of real axis which belongs to root locus? Here, what are the poles and zeros we have in the real axis we need to consider here. First, we have only one root, that is s is equals to 0. Apart from this, we don't have any root present on the real axis. So, to find out the segment of root locus, segment of real axis which belongs to root locus, we need to consider the poles and zeros here. So in between 0 and infinity, minus infinity here, in between these two, and we need to find out in between 0 and minus infinity. This will be the minus infinity side, 0 and minus infinity side. So what we need to do, we need to cover up the left hand side of the this one, poles here, that is minus infinity here, and towards right of this one, how many poles plus zeros are there? How many poles plus zeros are there? How many poles plus zeros are there towards this? When I cover towards the left of the infinity, how many poles and zeros are there in the towards the right? Only
Zero,
on the real
sir.
axis. No, we have one, right? S is equals to 0 is one pole.
Sir, but
And
we
we
are not
don't
supposed,
have,
we won't consider that now, sir.
no, what I'm talking in between 0 and minus infinity. Not 0 and plus infinity is this side. Plus infinity is this side. But I'm talking about minus infinity and 0. That is towards the left of the imaginary axis. Right. So what we need to cover up? We need to cover up minus infinity and count towards the right of that. Minus infinity and count towards right of that. The here how many poles plus zeros are there in the real axis? That is only one. S is equals to 0 is the only one pole what we have. So we need
Sir,
to
but in the
consider.
previous problem, if we take from 0 and infinity, we used to not consider the number as 0. That 1 0 is
Yes,
not considered, no, sir.
I'll show you here. Here there was one pole, right? That is S is equals to 0. Here second pole was there. In between these two, what I was supposed to consider here, I will be considering in between 0 and minus 2. I used to cover up minus 2, and towards right of that I used to consider minus 2, and I used to cover up this side.
Okay, yes, sir. Got it, sir.
That means number of poles plus zeros will be how many towards the right of this? Only one. That is S is equals to 0 is the only one pole what we have in between minus 2 and 0. Right. In between next, in between considering in between minus 4 and infinity here. Minus 4 and infinity, what I was considering, I used to consider, I used to cover up minus infinity here and count towards the right of this. So I'll be having minus 4, minus 2 and 0. There were three poles. See here, we have written the same thing. Yeah, here. Minus is present on the real axis only. So what we need to consider, towards the right of this one, we have only one pole. Right, towards right of this one, we have only one pole. That is P plus Z will be 1. Right. So this is odd. When we have odd, what does this indicate? This indicates root locus exists. Root locus exists here. Right. Right. But what about this? We have the complex conjugates here. Complex conjugate here. Do we need to consider this? Do we need to consider this? Yes. Do we need to consider this complex conjugate?
Yes, sir, because they are also roots. We need to take them.
They are also roots. But what we are considering, the segment of real axis which belongs to root locus. That means which is present only on the real axis we are considering. Right. That means here in the real axis, this complex conjugate.
Sir, hello.
Yeah. You go on.
No, sir, there was a small glitch. We couldn't hear you, so.
Yeah. The thing is, complex conjugate are not present on the real axis. We need to see only this this one. What are the roots which are present on the real axis? We need to consider. That's it. Right. So this is not present on the real axis here. This complex conjugate, these two complex conjugates are not present on the real axis. So no need to consider that. We need to consider which are present only on the real axis here. Right. So we shall move further. So we got hence the root locus exists. So I can directly draw the first root locus here. First root locus means is this one. This is the first root locus here. This is the direction here. That means it is starting point is 0 and terminate. We have found out this root locus exists here. In this between minus infinity and 0, we have the root locus. So this will be our first root locus. That means it is starting point is 0, terminating point will be minus infinity here. Right. Now we need to consider for these two complex conjugate here. Right. So to consider that, first we shall go with the breakaway point. Right. Breakaway. Do we have any breakaway or break-in point? We shall see that one. That is step 6. Step 6 to determine breakaway point or break-in point. to determine break away or break in point. To determine this, what we need to consider? We need to consider the characteristic equation. What is the characteristic equation? That is 1 plus g of s into h of s is equals to 0. This will be our characteristic equation. Here what we have, g of s into h of s is given as k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2. This is the g of s into h of s. So I can write this one as 1 plus k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2, which is equals to 0. So simplify this, what you will get? S cube plus 2s square plus 2s plus k is equals to 0, right? Just simplify this, you will get this value here. What I have done, I have multiplied towards the left of this, that is one, I have taken the LCM of this, and whatever which is left out in the denominator, I have multiplied it with 0 and I have simplified this one. Right. Now, how to find out breakaway and break-in point? First, you need to find out the characteristic equation and write in terms of k. Write in terms of k. K, so this becomes minus s cube minus 2s square minus 2s. Right. So after this, what we need to do? We need to differentiate this. That is dk divided by ds. Differentiate k with respect to s. So what you will get? This you will get in terms of minus 3s square minus 4s minus 2. Minus 2 is equals to 0. So I can take this one as, can write this one as 3s square plus 4s plus 2 is equals to 0. Now find out this root. Find out the root of this equation. Find out the root of this equation. Find out roots of this equation. What are the roots? What are the roots you have got?
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it is minus 0.66 plus 0.47i.
Minus 0.667 plus
0.47i
0.
or j 47.
Yeah, 471.
And same
And
thing with
this
the
is one
minus
root.
j, sir.
Minus j. That is minus 0.667 minus j into 0.471. Right. These are the two roots. Right. What we are supposed to find out? We are finding out the breakaway and break-in point. Right. Where these two were supposed to be there, breakaway and break-in point, it should be there on the real axis where the root locus is present. See here, what we have, that is minus 0.667 plus j into 0.471. That is minus 0.667 is this point, right? Plus j into 0.47. Right? That is somewhere here. Let us state it is minus 0.471. It is somewhere here, right? Here, this point and another point is somewhere here. Another point is somewhere here. These 2 points here, the root locus does not exist only. Root locus does not exist in these 2 points, and this is also the complex conjugate here. This is also the complex conjugate. So this is not a valid breakaway and break-in point, right? That means when we can say that it's a valid breakaway and break-in point, when I take the previous example, here we got breakaway and break-in point as these two here. Right?
So we didn't get break-in point last time, sir.
Yeah, we got break-away point. We didn't got break-in point. We got only the break-away point there. Right? Breakaway point, that means it should lie on the real axis here. It should lie on the real axis, and on the real axis, the root locus should exist. And on the real axis, the root locus should exist. Here, we got two values, that is minus 3.154 and minus 0.845. In this, when I see 0.845 was where the root locus is present, and here it was 3.54, minus 3.154 something that was there. minus 3.154. Here the root locus does not exist, so it is not a valid breakaway point. But here the root locus exists, it was a valid breakaway point here. But when we compare with this example, the root locus are here, somewhere here, here one, right? Break in and breakaway point are these 2 points. So here the root locus is not present and it is not lying on the real axis here. It is not lying on the real axis here. So these two are not valid breakaway or break in point. We can state this is no valid breakaway point or break in point. You can state this one, no valid breakaway or break in point, right? Why? Because this is a complex conjugate. The root locus does not have the break in or breakaway point in the complex conjugate part, right? So next we shall move on to the next step, that is step 7. What is step 7? Step 7 is to find out where the root locus crosses the imaginary axis. We got to know this is the root locus starting point. It will be crossing the imaginary axis. We need to find out where does the root locus crosses the imaginary axis here, right? So to determine intersection point with imaginary axis, with the imaginary axis here. Now, how to find out the intersection point with the imaginary axis? For that, we need to consider the characteristic equation. Characteristic equation is given by s cube plus 2s square plus 2s plus k is equals to 0. S cube plus 2s square plus 2s plus k is equals to 0. This is the characteristic equation, and for this characteristic equation we need to find out the Routh's array here. Routh's array. Now we shall write on the Routh's array here, that is s cube, s square, s and k here. Sorry, this is s naught. Yes, not here. So s cube coefficient is 1, s square coefficient is 2, s coefficient is 2, and here s raised to 0 coefficient is k here, right? Now we shall find out this value here, that is s naught, sorry, s raised to 1.
4 minus k by 2, sir.
4 minus k divided by 2. Here this will be 0 and this will be, here s naught value will be k, right? Because we have 0 above
Yes.
that term, we can directly write here, right? Now, which equation I need to, which row I need to make complete 0?
S1,
Which row I
sir.
need? Yes, 1, right? We need to make this one as complete 0 here. This I need to make complete 0. So how can I make complete 0? I need to take 4 minus k divided by 2 is equals to 0. So the value of k will be what? K will be 4 here. The value of k will be 4 here. So we got the value of k. When you substitute the value of k is equals to 4, this complete equation becomes 0 here. Now this will be our auxiliary equation. S square term what we have, that will be our auxiliary equation. So I'll write the auxiliary equation as 2s square plus k is equals to 0. This will be the auxiliary equation. So we got, this is what? This is nothing but the k marginal. Right? This is what is the k marginal. So at when k is equals to 4, the system becomes marginally stable here. So 2s square plus 4 is equals to 0. So what will be the value of s? S is equals to minus 2.
Plus or minus j root 2, sir.
Yeah, this is s square is equals to minus 2. S is equals to plus or minus j into root 2. You can write this one as plus or minus j into 1.414. 1.414. This is the value of s here. Now what we need, what you need to find, what you need to do, you need to mark this breakaway, this you need to mark in the imaginary axis where it crosses the imaginary axis, where the root locus crosses the imaginary axis. 1 point, it was 1.414, right?
414, sir.
Yeah, 1.414. Here, this is the value of 1. Now this is 1.414 will be somewhere here. This is the point where it crosses the imaginary axis. This is 1.414 is somewhere here. So this is S, this is not S, this is minus J into 1.414. This is plus J into 1.414 here. Right. This is the point where it crosses the imaginary axis. But these roots are on the complex side. These roots are on the complex side. So for this, what we need to do, we need to find out the angle of departure. That is the step 8. Step 8, we need to find out angle of departure. We need to find out the angle of departure. What is the formula to find out angle of departure? What is the formula to find out angle of departure when we have the poles? Phi of P, we had plus or minus, what is the formula? 180 into phi here. Right. This was the formula what we had to find out the angle of departure. That is 180 into 2q plus 1 plus phi here. But for that, we need to find out the phi here. Right. Now, considering this, I'll write this complete thing. First, we shall find out the angle of departure for S is equals to minus 1 plus j. I'll write it here. This is S is equals to minus 1 plus j. This is minus 1 plus j, and S is equals to, here I'll write S is equals to minus 1 minus j, and here S is equals to 0. S is equals to 0 here. This I have written, I have duplicated that thing. First, we shall find out for pole for S is equals to minus 1 plus j. We shall find out for this, right? So to find out the angle of departure for this, what we need to do? First, you just draw a line like this and draw a line like this, right? For this, find out the angle here. For this, find out the angle here. This, what will be this angle, and find out what will be this angle here. This angle, we know it is perpendicular down, that will be 90 degree. But what will be this angle? What will be this angle? So to find out that, I have constructed the triangle here. This unit will be 1 here, that is minus 1, and similarly this will be minus 1 here, right? So to find out this angle, what I'll do, I'll write it as 180. I'll find out this angle first, 180. First I'll make it as, find out this angle here. So this will be tan inverse of b by a, minus 1 divided by minus 1. So what will be tan inverse of minus 1 divided by minus 1?
45, sir.
It is 45 degree, right? So this will be our 45 degree. What will be this angle? 180 minus 45. 180 minus 45. This will be the angle. How much is this one? 135 degree, right? So I'll write the for minus 1 plus j. To find out angle of departure for minus 1 plus j, phi will be angle of poles minus angle of zeros here, right? So angle of zeros minus angle of poles, right? Here we don't have any zero here, so angle of zeros will be 0. Yeah.
So tan inverse plus 1 by minus 1, or it is a minus 1, because in imaginary axis from 0 to plus j, it will be plus.
See,
1.
what I have taken here, it's just an part. How much? What is the length of this?
1
what is
unit.
length of this? This is 1 unit. What is length of this? What is length of this? 1 unit. So you can take it as plus 1 by plus 1. Right?
Okay, sir.
Why need to find out the angle here? That is, unit is 1.
Oh, magnitude. Okay, sir. Got it.
Only we need to find out the angle here. So this will be 1 and 1. Right. So this will be 180 minus of tan inverse b by a, that is 1 divided by 1. You can write it like this. So this will be what? This will be 0 minus of 180 minus 45. So this will be what? This is 135 degree. This will be minus 135 degree. This will be 5. So now we shall substitute 5p here. So this is plus or minus 180 into 2q plus 1 minus 135. So substitute value of q is equals to 0. You will get 180 into 1 minus 35, 135. How much? How much?
45, sir.
Yeah, this will be 45 degree here, plus or minus 45 degree here, right? This will be plus or minus, sorry. Yeah, here we have done a little bit wrong. Only we have taken, consider only this side. That is 135 degree. But what about the other side? This point. Plus 90 I need to do, right? This angle, poles will be how much? One pole s is equals to 0 and another pole is minus 1 minus j. So this will be 135 plus 90 degree. 135 plus 90 degree here, right? So this will be not 45. Now how much is this one? 180 minus 225. 35 plus 90 is 225 degree, right? How much is this one now? This is minus 45 degree. Right? Why have I considered this one? Because this angle is 135, correct? But this angle also I need to consider contribution for the pole. That is 90 degrees. So 135 plus 90 will be this. 135 plus 90 will be this. So 135 plus 90 is 225. 225 minus 180 is minus 45. Guys, last 1 minute is there. If this shuts down, if this goes down, you need to join once again. I'll explain this again. Right? I'll explain this again. So you need to join this with the same link. Okay.
Sir, we have got the link for the next class, sir.
Just a minute. Within 5 minutes, 2 minutes, we can complete this one. Right. See, we got this as 40 minus 45 degree here. So to draw that minus 45 degree, how many you need to draw? This will be our reference line. Minus 45 means it should be the counterclockwise like this. It should be in the counterclockwise. This will be your angle of departure, minus 45 degree. Is phi p is equals to minus 45 degree. Phi p is minus 45 degree. Similarly, you need to do it for this. Anyhow, this is minus 45 degree. This will be plus 45 degree like this.
Sir, but it is actually plus or minus.
Yeah, plus or minus means one because we will be having that in the symmetric, right? It will be in the symmetric only. So plus or minus 45 means one for the above above pole and another for the below pole, like that. Plus will be for the above pole, minus will be for the below pole. First you find out for the plus positive term, you will get as minus 45. Similarly, find out for the below pole, you will get the negative 45. Minus 45 and plus 45 here. This will be for the below pole because it is both are symmetric here. Both are symmetric. So this will be plus 45 and this will be minus 45 here. Right. So I have marked that one. I have marked here for one pole. We have found out for this pole. This will be 45 degree, minus 45 degree here. So I have marked like this. Right. Now, at the end, what we need to do? We need to draw the root locus here. I'll draw in red. Yeah. Now, we got to know the angle of departure is with respect to this departure line. This departure line, and it crosses here like this. It will be going like this and it will be departing like this. So this will be our angle of departure here. So this is how you need to draw the root locus here. And it will further move along the angle of asymptote. Similarly, you need to draw here angle of departure with respect to this line and parallel to angle of asymptote here. Parallel to angle of asymptote here like this. Draw parallel to angle of asymptote. This will be our root locus here. This will terminate to infinity. Similarly, this will terminate to infinity here. Right? So angle of departure will be with respect to minus 45. That is minus 1 plus j will be with respect to minus 45, and it will travel along the angle of asymptote. It will travel parallel to angle of asymptote, not on the asymptote angle here. It will not travel on the asymptote angle what we have drawn here, but it will travel parallel to the angle of asymptote. It will travel parallel to the angle of asymptote here with this. Right? Similarly, here also it will travel parallel to the angle of asymptote. Here it will travel on the asymptote only here. This is the one more root locus here. This is third one. First, it is minus 1 plus j. It is started here. It has came out with minus 45 degree and it will travel parallel to the asymptote angle. Next is minus 1 minus j. It has started with here and it has departed with plus 45 degree. Here 5p will be what? It will be plus 45 degree here. Departure point for the poles will be plus 45 here, and it will travel along the asymptote angle here. And one more is s is equals to 0. It has started here and it is traveling along the line, along the asymptote angle only. That is 180 degree here. It is traveling along the asymptote angle only here. Right? This is what you need to draw here. This is s is equals to 0, minus 1 plus j, minus 1 minus j. 3 poles here, and we don't have any zeros. Right? Any doubts in this? Any doubts, guys?
We don't need to
Sir,
find
I have a
stability
doubt
in
in
this, sir.
first step, sir.
Just yeah, one by one. Anyone?
Sir, first step, sir. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ like minus 1 plus I minus 1 minus j ಬಂತು.
ಇದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಸಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಏನಿದೆ s ಇಂಟು s ಕ್ಯೂಬ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2s ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
s ಇಂಟು s ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2s ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇದನ್ನ 0 ಗೆ ಈಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Right? Now find out the root. What are the roots of this one? S is equals to 0 will be one root. Alva. ಆಮೇಲೆ s square plus 2s plus 2 is equals to 0. ಇದು second root. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದನ್ನ find out the roots of this one. Calculator ಹೋಗಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Go to setup or mode. Go to mode.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
Plus equation, that is 5. ಆಮೇಲೆ 3, that is ax square plus bx plus c ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. a is equals to 1 ಒತ್ತಿ, b is equals to 2 and c is equals to 2 plus equals. ಏನ್ ಬಂತು?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಏನ್ ಬಂತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಅದೇ ಸರ್.
s is equals to minus 1 plus i. ಆಮೇಲೆ s is equals to minus 1 minus i. ಎರಡು ಬಂತಲ್ವಾ? I ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? I is nothing but the imaginary axis. Here imaginary axis y axis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು j ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿವಿ. I ಬದಲಿ j ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
Right? Any other doubt? Any other doubt, guys? ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ? Then we'll stop
No,
here.
sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'll send you the link in WhatsApp group. Attendance link you can fill there itself. Right? Thank you, guys.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in angle of departure, sir, we have taken only q is equal to 0. What happens if you take q is equal to 1? Because the
Just
q
take.
range
Yeah, you just take and find out what happens.
315 degree we get, sir. If you take q is equal to
315
1.
degree means?
Plus 45.
315 degree means? What is that?
Uh,
Right, 315 degree is what? Minus
minus
135.
45, sir.
Oh, sorry, minus 360. That is minus 45 only, right?
Minus 45 only, sir.
Yeah, that means if you have any other term apart from 0 also, you will get the same thing. Right, minus 45 will be there. First, you will be having, if you get 45 plus 360, you will be getting 405 plus 360. Next term will be 765 like that. For the below one. But for the above one, what you will get? Minus 45 plus 360. You'll get minus 315 like that. If you take one more term, you'll get the same thing only, minus 45 degree only. And that is what the q value there is there. So you can directly in the equation only you can change here. This you can take this one as 180 plus 5. 180 plus 5. In some textbook, he has given direct value 180 plus 5 and 180 minus 5. But this is the actual formula what you need to use. That is P is equals to plus or minus 180 into 2q plus 1 plus 5. You need to use this formula only. This is the standard formula. Right? But in your some textbook, local author textbook, he has given direct formula here. 180 plus 5 only he has given. Right? Yeah, any doubts, guys?
No,
Okay,
sir.
then we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class, right? Thank you, guys. I'll send the attendance link in WhatsApp group. You can fill there.